Hi guys. Welcome back to Pointless Perspectives. Um, this week we're doing another one of our casual conversations, and we've kind of been MIA for a week-ish, right?
I think we only missed last week.
Yeah. So we're MIA for a week with absolutely no warning, but that is because, let me tell you, I had a very eventful week.
Mm.
Um, so as you may or may not know, we go to college together, but we are obviously, due to COVID, not in the same place or not at college. And my home state is Texas. And so if y'all have not been living under a rock and have read the news, you know that Texas went through this whole winter storm debacle last week. And as part of that winter storm debacle, your girl had no power for a solid 2-3 days and no internet for a solid week. So I guess I got my spring break back, but it wasn't as enjoyable as I would have hoped because we were all bundled up by the fire for the most part.
I mean, I feel like it's not even a break. It's just stress because you know that you're missing classes and
Yes,
feeling
and
behind.
yeah, and all my hometown friends that go to school in state were like, "Oh my god, we have time off. It's great," because their classes were canceled. But me, because my dumbass was like, "Let's go to school in the Midwest area where they don't stop or cancel school for rain or shine or snow or ice or a polar vortex. No, they don't cancel school. Period." Um, and yeah, so all my classes went on while all my friends were just chilling, doing movie nights with their friends, having snowball fights. It was a time and a half to say the least. But yeah, that's why we missed last week. All of that just to say that's
Yeah.
why. But yeah, also,
Tragic events.
it do be like that sometimes, but you know what? We're trying to stay positive. Obviously, um, missing classes made school a little bit more stressful than normal. And then on top of that, I think I speak for both of us when I say that we do have midterms coming up, which is also not fun.
My midterm that I have is end of March.
Oh, snap.
I
Oh,
mean, I have a
yeah.
bunch of assignments due
Mm.
and things due and quizzes and stuff, but it's not officially midterms until end of March, I think. For me.
Yeah. Well, no. For me, it's this week and next are the first round, I guess, essentially of midterms, and then the end of March is kind of the second round. But yeah,
Eee.
yeah, indeed. School has been, but you know what? I know that we started in February, so obviously things are way more accelerated than normal, but I did very much enjoy having a month and a half of break where I could just essentially bowl and do nothing.
True, at least we got break, but I still think it would have been nice. I mean, technically, we have days off.
Yes.
They gave us 2
Two.
days in the middle of the week, but I've heard in other schools or for other students, they have the same thing, but obviously professors still are assigning things that they want them to do over the days off. So is it really it's I mean, that's why it's not a break, it's a catch-up day.
They call them mental health days for us. Or at least in my classes, that's what I've heard.
Oh, really? I've
Yeah.
heard of as catch-up days. I won't even call them mental health days because mental health day should be a day that you don't have to do anything, but technically
Yeah.
you feel pressured to do stuff as though it's just another free day to do work.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But you know what? I appreciate that they took a little bit of the feedback that students were given them last semester and kind of tried to put it into action and give us a little bit of, leeway, if anything.
I mean, I would have probably preferred if, I mean, I don't know, like if we had the same break length, like winter break length, and then
Mm.
they just like spread out like these catch up days throughout the semester that equaled like spring break days.
I mean, I would enjoy that. Like, just like, because spring break technically for us is like 5 days. So just have 5 random days where, like, no classes or nothing like that would be fantastic. But I don't know, because they're also really strict about, like, making sure, one, we have enough time to do all our work, but on top of that, making sure there's no time period long enough that students could go out of town or, like, travel anywhere. Like, for those,
Like
like,
that's obviously why they've done like in the middle of the week or whatever, because they think
mm,
that'll minimize the thing. But my logic has always been, not my logic, but like it's like the argument that I pose, like even to my mom, like I was like, people that can leave to like home in a
mm,
3 day weekend would have gone regardless if they got the day off. Like they live close enough to just go.
yeah.
And that probably means that they live like in a drivable distance or within state and they're gonna go anyways. So it's like even if you don't, so like they're gonna go, like they'll just skip classes on Friday and go. And especially with remote nowadays, they can just go even with more.
Yeah. Like, literally, I have friends that just they spend the week at home and then they come back. They, they just alternate. If they want to go, they'll go for the whole week. So, I don't really know if the days off being in the middle of the week help too much, but if it makes them feel better, then I guess that's what matters.
They can say that they've done their part to minimize risk and optimize days off, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as long as their asses are essentially covered, I mean, that's what it is. But
No,
yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm already ready for those days off.
I don't even remember when they are.
Last week of March and the second week of March.
Even though we have all of April.
Yeah. They were really like, yeah, 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 just March. Because that's when spring break would be, I guess, technically. So they were like, we'll give you 2 days in March sometime as your spring break.
I feel like it makes sense to do like one in March, one in April.
Mm-hmm.
Because May obviously is like not the full month and it's like finals, but then and February is like the start of the semester, so
Mm-hmm.
people are more motivated to do work.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
almost the end of
arguably,
February.
but like
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if next semester, I really hope, like, knocking on wood. Um, Next semester is we get some semblance of normal, and we don't have to go through this, and maybe we have our fall break back, possibly, maybe.
they might just do the same thing, but like in person. Like they'll just give us Thanksgiving off, and
Mm.
then they can do that again, right? And like still that minimizes travel, even though since there'll be probably more students back.
That's true. I still want to make that one road trip for fall break. I want to make that happen.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but one can dream.
I mean, in a car is definitely safer than flying because it's like
Mm-hmm.
would be just like you and like it would just be us two or who whatever.
Yeah.
It's just about if we'll even be back in Cleveland and if we'll get a car to do it.
Exactly. And so there's so many variables that go into it that I'm okay if it doesn't happen. But I do want some semblance of, like, college experience to come back. Like, obviously I want everyone to be safe and COVID not to exist. But for next year and next semester, I think it would be amazing if, you know,
No,
well,
I get it. It's like I feel like everybody talks about their youth and like their early 20s and college
mhm.
and maybe good or bad. I mean, it doesn't I mean, it depends, right? But like it's memorable
Yeah.
and there's memories made and like well we definitely got a memorable one. It's just not the type of memories like with friends that we're making it with. We're making it kind of like socially distant from everyone and that's kind of sucky. Like you want to have those wild, I mean they don't have to be wild but the stories, you know.
Yeah. Like,
At least we got some, but like it just sucks that like I feel like it's all ending abruptly. Everything is just coming to an end.
definitely had like a slight like not crisis, but kind of crisis today.
Breakdown.
Your breakdown when I was like, oh my god, next year is like it's like we're graduating,
Yep.
and it's the end of like what's supposed to be like some of the most like carefree almost times of your life, because like you're literally like living essentially with your friends for like 4 years, and having that independence that you didn't necessarily have in like high school or when you were living at home. So yeah, it hit me today that responsibility is coming, and like actual adulting will begin soon, and I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm
I was gonna
prepared
say
for
it's more
that.
like we're losing beginning of the independence without needing full adult responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's just I mean our situation, right? Like not everybody is
Mm,
I guess fortunate to have that.
yeah,
But
definitely.
just like in general, like even with like responsibilities, like there's something that you want to feel nostalgic about college later on or like something.
Yeah,
It's a stage of life that you want to appreciate because afterwards it's just growing up in the same thing like work,
yeah.
you know?
Thank
So I think that's what it is.
you. Yeah. Also, like, I want fun stories to tell, like, my future kids. You know, if that happens, like, I want to be like, back in my day. Like, not just like we did school online, but like also
I
like
mean, that is wild enough. Just like this whole year is wild enough. Even though I feel like I'm gonna just block it out and be like
yeah,
year that happened that we want to forget.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there is that. But yeah, no, I want like some like not necessarily cool, but like just some like fond memories to look back on and just be like, I did stuff when I was young. Okay,
We
that's
have a
about it.
couple of those. We do
And
have
we
those,
do, we do.
but it kind of was picking up in our junior year. I mean, our junior year, our sophomore year, and then it kind of abruptly stopped.
Yeah, and then good old Corona came through, and she was like, nah, not this year, guys. And then she stayed around, and then she was like, not junior year either, guys. So it's okay, senior year, we got this. But yeah, um, another thing that happened since we were kind of like off or like we didn't record was good old Valentine's Day. And so you know, I think I appreciate how much that Valentine's Day is slowly becoming like, because in the past it's been like couples and like spending it with your like soulmate or your significant other.
Soulmate,
I
significant
don't know.
soulmate.
I was trying to make it cute, but whatever.
No.
Anyways, no, but now it's like it's also transitioned to that like, self love and making sure like Valentine's celebration doesn't just have to be with you and like that special someone, but it's also just you and like having a nice night by yourself, taking care of yourself, checking in with yourself, like with your mental health, doing something fun. Some people the most I think the image that comes to mind I think most when I think self-care is like having a glass of wine, doing a face mask, like all that type of stuff. Um, that's very stereotypical. That is not what I did for Valentine's Day, but it
It's
was
more like a day off to like making it a day to excuse yourself and be able to de-stress and like
yeah,
unwind. Maybe you
yeah.
haven't done it for a couple of days, and so that day gives you an excuse. I mean, it's just for honestly, that's all there to just make singles like us feel better about ourselves on
I
Valentine's Day.
don't I don't hate it. Okay, I
But
like
like,
it. I
it
appreciate
is
it.
nice. I mean, like we kind of grew up feeling like the day wasn't meant to be
Hmm.
celebrated unless you were in a relationship, and like unbeknownst to our 10-year-old selves, like that put this weird pressure that you needed to have someone around the time.
Oh,
Did I
definitely.
ever have anyone around this time? No, of course not. But like that's besides the point. The point is that we felt like it was needed. And so now it's been less on that and just more. I mean, it really is just a capitalistic holiday.
Oh, for sure, no
So, like
doubt.
there is no like true significance. Like just because
Saint
it's Valentine's
Valentine.
Day, like just because it's Valentine's Day doesn't mean that you need to treat your SO like that's the only day that you're supposed to
Yeah.
treat your SO well. Like no, it should be an
Like
all year round thing.
exactly. Like you can do obviously like special stuff, but like for me, the more important stuff is like the anniversary, like not like the month anniversaries, like the year anniversary or like those special like days that you have like with your significant other, whether it be like like your first date or like I don't know, stuff like cutesy moments like that. Valentine's Day is literally marketed chocolates, flowers, and like stuffed animals. I think that's it. Those are the three
Yeah.
tropes.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, it's just like pressure that you need to do something like monetary for your SO. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so like that's like it's like one of those things though, because like not some people like okay, really deep diving, but like this concept
Oh,
of love language, right? Like that's really like bloomed or what's the
what's
right
your love
word?
language, Samhita? I'm curious.
I don't have one that I know. Okay, we
Are you
can't.
kidding me? I will send you the quiz.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I. Oh, did I? I think I took it, but I don't remember it.
Oh,
I literally.
mine's
What's yours? You
uh,
started it.
shoot. Hold up. I gotta think.
Okay, well, I was trying to say like in the last year, this concept of love language has really like
Mm,
become big. Like that everybody shows love and wants to receive love in like a certain set of categories because we have to categorize everything as humans and
yes, we like defining things.
yeah, exactly. And so I mean it
Yeah.
makes sense in a lot of ways, and so like some people do enjoy receiving gifts as like monetary gifts as a love language. um Others love giving gifts as a love language, right? So those things are there, but I feel like I don't know if it's honestly monetary. I think it's just like gifts, so it can be just something sentimental too.
Yeah. I think yeah. I think seeing Valentine's Day is just like another way to show your appreciation is cute. Like again, like the more sentimental gifts, like it doesn't matter like if you drop like thousands of dollars on like a Cartier bracelet or whatever, but like I don't
Pandora
know.
princess ring, a Pandora princess ring. What was that
Oh
like when we were in
yes,
high school?
that was such
That
a
was like a
big
big
thing when
thing.
we were in high school. But yeah, like dropping that kind of money is not necessary. Like I would genuinely, I think the cutest thing that I've seen like couples do is make those like adorable little scrapbooks or like those little popsicle stick thingies with like cute
Yeah,
little
because it
compliments or
takes
like
effort and time,
yeah, and like that to me
but not
means
everyone is good at crafts.
that's true. That's true. So you know, some people might appreciate like different things more, obviously, which is where love languages can come into play.
Yeah.
Like
So do you remember what yours is?
mine is acts of service, followed closely by quality time. So, um, yeah, that's just it's just like I think it's cool to like the questions obviously are like not necessarily have like the best scientific backing, but it's cool to learn about like what you would prefer and the situations they kind of make you think about. And that's about it.
What are the categories? Like, what are the different things that you can fall under?
You have quality, time, acts of service, physical touch, receiving gifts, and there's one more. I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, those are the main ones.
Yeah, I do remember taking something like a quiz of it because like this, it's always interesting to take quizzes like this. But I 100% forgot. So probably will take it after this.
Obviously, you must now. Like, it has to happen.
Um,
I will confirm with words of affirmation. Is it words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and physical touch? I mean, yeah. I don't know what you would be. I feel like let's think. Let's dive into this really
oh, jeez. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm not. I don't think I got the gifts one, and
I
I
think
don't think.
you might be uh quality time or like words of affirmation.
What does words of affirmation mean?
It's basically like okay, so it says on this thing that I'm reading, actions to take if someone's like love language is words of affirmations. Send an unexpected note, text, or card. Genuinely encourage and often. But I think it's like the way I perceive it is like you make sure that your partner knows that they're appreciated by telling them sort of like, hey, thank you so much for doing this, or I really appreciate that you did this. And like being,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. The other one's obviously quality time, and I feel like that's pretty self explanatory, but if you need me to read the description, I got you. Or like actions to take according to this website.
You go ahead. I think you want to. Not that I need it, but you want to.
Create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your partner. Weekend getaways are huge. You know? See, those are cute. I just think I read cute things and like
So cheesy though.
and like
Whole
yeah, because they're
of these
cheesy, but
categories are
they're
cheesy.
yeah. I mean, I feel like love in general, like the whole
I
theme
was
of it
about to
has
say.
become very cheesy. But you know, that was that. We did a cute thing though. We did a Galentine's type
Yeah, a gift
exchange,
exchange.
which was
Remote social distance exchange.
yes, we celebrated because usually the past 2 years, because we yeah, we would celebrate by going to this one like Thai restaurant, or I think like 1 year we went to one Thai
1 year we
restaurant,
went.
and
Yeah.
then the next year, so we basically have a tradition of like dinner and a movie. And the second year, we ordered Panda Express. Shout out Panda Express.
Did we? I think we did. I don't even remember last
Yeah,
year's Valentine's.
cool, great. I'm the only one that remembers. You know what? Rude. No.
That's not Valentine's. Didn't.
I know. Um, I genuinely only remember because of the Panda Express because I
Mm.
was really craving that. And fun fact, if anybody is not already aware of this, Panda Express discontinued their black pepper chicken, and I am
Yeah.
sad about it.
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't as popular. Maybe we're just the weird ones.
I don't know, but it was a very sad day when I found that out like a week ago. But yeah, so since we had spent like the last two Valentine's days together with like our friends and such, we were like, you know what? Why not just do something like cute this time around too? And that is what we did. We had a cute little gift exchange and like video call slash movie night type deal. It was very nice. I thought it was cute.
I mean, we stayed up late that night.
Late. It was like 4
I haven't done
a.m.
that in a while. Yeah.
It definitely did it potentially and very probably like screw up my sleep schedule for the next week. Yes. But I had
I
fun.
don't know how one night messes up your sleep schedule that bad, but
Cause like
okay.
I can't sleep because like we went to bed at 4, and then the next night I was like, okay, I have to go to bed early. I went to bed at 3. It didn't help. Nothing happened. Cause like
I mean, that's earlier, and then you just go to bed at 2, and then
yeah, and that's where we're at now. 2 a.m.
Same.
Okay, but that's for different reasons.
For what, me?
Yeah, cause like okay, cause I'll go to bed at 2 because I I'm usually working on something, usually procrastinating on something, if I'm honest. But but like you usually you have like your little nightly routine of like chilling and then like watching like an episode of something like Netflix or YouTube videos or whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm in bed at like 12:30.
What if that's so normal? I applaud you. I wish that could be me. I
I mean,
wish.
I don't go to bed, but I'm in bed.
But that's like it's like a solid like 12:30 cutoff time. Like that's nice. Like a
I just can't
routine.
function well. Like I know myself enough to know like working past like late in the night. I think I'm gonna work, but really I just get distracted. So I'm just like, as long as I finish everything I need to have done, then I might as well just get in bed now, which is what I do.
That makes sense, yeah. I on the other hand have decided that now I need to find a way to incorporate coffee into my life because which is a very big mistake because I hate the taste of bitter things and coffee is the most bitter. But I since I am staying up late or like waking up especially early because of classes now. I'm like I need something to like wake me up or like pick me up somehow. So that's where we're at.
I love how you jump straight into coffee. I mean, that's what most people do. I just grew up like with tea around me all the time, so that was my transition into coffee. But yeah, well,
I mean,
Starbucks was my transition into coffee, like apps.
ah yes. When I go to Starbucks, see because I was like I don't really like coffee. I don't really need the caffeine to stay awake. At night, in the morning is a different story. So I would just get the most sugary thing on the menu, and that is the vanilla bean cream frappuccino. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But yeah, I'd never go to Starbucks to get actual coffee, which is what they're known for.
I mean, true. Like I never got. I mean, I now I have, but like when I was in high school, I never got like an actual coffee from Starbucks. I just found it really awkward to like figure out how to make my order there and like mix cream and sugar because like I needed that for my coffee.
Hmm.
And like it's so awkward to like stand there with like all your sugar packets and your cream. It's just a lot. And a lot of times for cream and stuff, like you request through the order.
Oh.
Like you say I want like two creams. Like I guess it's Dunkin', but like at least in Starbucks that's probably the same thing. So it's just easier to like get the one pre-made drinks like fraps
Yeah.
that I know I'm gonna like the taste of. I used to get Java chip. That was my favorite.
I have never had that because I thought Java implied coffee, and I was like, I don't think I'll like it.
I mean, it does. It means it's like because they had like chocolate chip, which is like the
Hmm.
non-caffeine version, and so Java chip was just that, but with like chocolate and coffee,
Oh.
and it tasted really good. I mean, it didn't really taste like. I mean, I don't remember. It's been years since I've had Java chip frap.
Maybe put that on the to-do list one time. Bring it back just for nostalgia.
You know what I need to do? I need to. This is kind of random, but not at the same time. I need to go through like a. I've never gone. I've never driven through a drive-through. Like gotten stuff
Oh,
through a drive-through. So now with like COVID, it kind of makes sense. Just get something like
yeah.
Starbucks to a drive-through. It's just that I feel like I'm going to park. I'm gonna stall the car too far away from the intercom, and then or too far from the window, and then I will have
It's that
missed.
awkward like stretching out like really far,
I mean,
having to
I
open the
got long
door.
arms, but like, who
I don't
knows?
know. It's just I feel like once you get there, because like you can see the curve essentially. Once you get there, you just like kind of hug the curve and you're good. It's an experience to do drive through. I think it's cool. Would
My dad,
recommend.
my dad used to find. My dad not used to. My dad does find it awkward. He doesn't like going through drive-throughs, so we never
Mm.
went through drive-throughs. So I just
Ah.
I'm like, so if we go, it's like me. Like he doesn't like talking in the intercom. So like if we go, I have to be the. I don't even know how we did it. Like the one time I literally was sitting in the back of the van and I opened the door and talked through the inter. you know.
Oh my goodness. I
Or if
think
you go to Sonic, like I'm the one that's ordering.
Sonic is like it's not even a drive through, it's a drive up. So you
Yeah, but
vibe.
you still got to talk through a intercom.
Oh, see, when I was in high school, there was a Sonic right by the place, and we had off-campus lunches, so we would walk to the Sonic, literally stand in a parking spot, like all of us would stand in a parking spot and like take turns one by one ordering and just chill in the parking spot, which was
Yeah.
nice. Awkward for the people on the roller skates, but fun. But
Yeah, no, I'm always the one ordering at Sonic.
yeah, man,
We did not have off-campus lunch in high school.
we we only had that because it was it was 2 years and 2 years. Like so, my high school was split up ninth and 10th grade, and then 11th and 12th. And so by 10th grade, people were driving, especially the
Said
older
split up
people.
like she means like buildings, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
high school is split up
Oh
under
shoot, yeah.
classes.
Like like genuinely, there was a high school that had only ninth and 10th graders at like one side of town, and then you'd go like at least 2 miles or 3 miles away, and then you'd have like the senior high, which was like 11th and 12th graders, and that's how it went down. It was a time. It's kind of weird, but we had like 3,000 kids, so in each school or more.
Building.
Yeah. hmm My high school was 5 buildings. Like my senior high was 5 buildings.
What does that mean? So like different classes
Well, yeah,
were
it was like a
departments.
community college campus, like
Um,
multiple buildings,
mm.
and then you had like English and like
They can only
language
pull that
arts.
in Texas though because of the outside walking.
Yeah, they could not pull that in like Illinois or like Ohio or any of the places that have actual cold seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I lived 5 minutes away from my high school, so I just walked to school
Mm.
all throughout high school. And, you know, on those really cold days, even though it was just 5 minutes, it was less than 5 minutes. But obviously, high school me and college me were two different walking breeds, I guess. Now, if I did it, it'd probably take me 2 minutes to get to school. But I was, I guess, a slow walker in high school, so it took me 5 minutes.
We didn't have the technique yet of
Apparently
college
not.
walking, okay?
Apparently not, yeah.
Booking
And
our
so,
way to class,
yeah.
leaving. Oh my goodness.
So even when it was because we would have like frostbite weather where basically or frostbite warning, which basically is like if like you have like exposed
Mm,
sometimes it's like really bad where like if you have any exposed skin that's out in that cold for like 10 minutes or something like that, it'll like get frostbitten.
mm,
And so like that's really cold and like it's windy here, so feels even worse. So you're going in like thick coats and gloves and a scarf around your face and
yeah.
caps, just trying to cover everything you can. And man, the pain I felt when walking in that wind.
I can imagine. I feel like it can like sometimes when it's like super cold, it like cuts you or like it feels like very
Yeah,
like
especially the wind.
yeah. Yeah.
It makes it really hurts your face, like the cold.
Yeah. We had at my high school we had a pond in the center of campus.
Mm,
And so there was one time that winter in Texas was like a little bit worse than normal, and the pond froze, and you would not believe the amount of kids that were trying to walk on the pond and that
yeah,
fell in the
no.
pond.
Yeah, no.
And
You're literally
literally,
taught to do that. I don't even know.
it's
Because
like
kids die that way.
oh well, yeah, 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 yeah. I assume
Because
that because like in the lakes area, yeah.
yeah, no, just like in general, like even if it's a pond, like
Mm,
you never know because like water under the ice is circulating. That's why it's not frozen. Like it's
mm,
still moving. There's still a little bit of movement in it. So when the ice breaks and you fall in, sometimes what happens is you don't fall. You fall in and then you move. If your body goes under the ice
Mm.
and away from like where you fell in, you get stuck underwater with ice above you, and you can't get
Yes.
out. That's the issue. And
I do
what?
remember a Riverdale episode that showed that.
Okay, and when it's like super cold, when it's super cold and you're and it's, like traumatic, like you're in shock,
Yeah.
but also when it's super cold, it's really hard to swim.
Mm.
Like your limbs don't want to move that easily. So it's like you have like minute or so before like you reach your capacity of being
Yeah.
under there, and like if you can't, it's hard to. Your limbs are already tight. You can't really break ice.
Yeah.
So it's scary.
Yeah. For dumbass Texans who have not seen frozen water before, they were like, ah, bright ideas. And like the thing is, our school pond, we don't know what's in it. Like it's been dyed numerous times. Some
Mm-hmm.
once they found a coyote like carcass in it. So
Mm-hmm.
we just think like that scene in Wolverine where like he gets put into like the toxic stuff and then he comes out and as like Wolverine. So we just assume that
Oh
like
yeah,
whoever falls into that pit comes out with like some mutation, like superpower type
genetically
deal.
mutated.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
like
mean like that brain was mutated. Yeah.
yeah, it just because we don't know what's in there, and bro, there's been some sketchy stuff that we've heard about. But yeah,
Yeah, we had a pond somewhere near the school. I've never went to it, and it basically was like extreme acidity levels.
oh snap,
Yeah.
yeah, uh, could not literally. School ponds are some of the scariest places to witness because you don't know what's in there and children are around it and especially when they're at like high schools like teens high schoolers are not necessarily like the most safe you know
Mhm.
maybe possibly so it just doesn't seem like an overall good combination but
Yeah.
yeah I do think it was cool though to go to a big high school like I did.
It's different, I guess. I mean,
Mm,
like my high school was big too, not that big, but pretty big.
mm,
Um, but I think it was a very average experience, like very normal type of
mm.
experience. What they you would see on like a TV show was how my high school looked and felt. So,
Yeah, same. Like, I think the stereotype about like Texas high schools that are like crazy about football like rang true for mine
yeah.
as well. So seeing how like there was a little bit of translation between like all the shows about like what is it Friday Night Lights or something like that where people go
Yeah.
hard about football like those Friday like game days people went all out. I mean like painted faces like you had the cheerleaders you had like we had a pep team that was literally
Mm.
like made up of all girls and their whole purpose was to like rally support for the team and they dressed up in our school colors with like special overalls and it was kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, we had that too. Yeah, for pep
Yeah.
assemblies.
Mhm.
But we were not a good football high school, so that spirit in our high school instantaneously fell. So,
Yeah. You know. I think I that's maybe the one thing I miss about like our school our college is that like I enjoyed the atmosphere
mm,
of like sports stuff and things like that. And our school isn't necessarily known for their
yeah, Casey's
athleticism.
not a big spirit rallying school, so
Yeah. So
for D3, most D3 schools aren't going to be.
hey, just wait for ultimate frisbee though, and maybe Quidditch we're D1, and that's what I hold on to.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Anyways, on that note, I think
Yeah. think that's
That's
a good
been what's
stopping point.
yeah, that's been what's up for the last month, you know? Just school, Valentine's Day, crying about it, laughing about it. Stressing about school, laughing about school, crying about
Hmm.
school, the usual.
Feeling nostalgic, here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Next
that's it.
week, we will promise that we have a some sort of episode about media. But for now, we just wanted to catch up this week and see what's going
Yeah.
on. Pretty much. All right. See you guys next week. Bye.